It is an honour and privilege to speak at this year's NAFD Conference. Throughout this pandemic, we are now more than ever acutely aware of the fragility of life and the vital work of funeral directors, who at times have been overlooked. What unites us all as people is that at some point in our life, we will lose loved ones. And we will rely on the funeral sector to care for our loved ones who are no longer with us and to support us, the families, as we prepare to say our final goodbyes. COVID-19 is the biggest health crisis in our lifetime. At one point, the nation was informed on a daily basis how many people had succumbed to COVID-19. We were reminded of the pressures that were placed upon the shoulders of our frontline workers, and all living in a state of heightened anxiety. For every life lost, there were and continue to be family and friends of the bereft, and of course, funeral directors across the country providing support and essential services in the most extreme conditions. The resilience and dedication shown by frontline workers across the UK is something to be proud of. And those who work in the funeral care service ought to too be acknowledged. Every sector, community and family who have somehow been affected by COVID, and I understand the delegates attending this year's conference have their own painful experiences of the pandemic, and my thoughts are with them, will have stories to tell. In the face of adversity, the funeral directors adapted to the many changes, sometimes weekly changes, and still continue to offer their support to the tens of thousands who tragically needed to arrange a funeral in such precarious times. Restrictions that were put in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and protect lives saw many people unable to say goodbye to their loved ones. And many were only allowed a memorial service where they could actually share fond memories of their loved one. Funeral directors are much more than a service. They support, they guide and they care. When we lose someone, a fog descends, our memories aren't recorded. We hear the words and what we are seeing so many people, but none of it makes any sense. During this time, our ability to make decisions is often hindered, and our thinking is so skewed from the shock that it is during these times that we need the work and the support of the funeral sector far more than ever before. Delegates may be aware of my campaign for what is now known as the Children's Funeral Fund, and that was established in 2019 after several years of campaigning. The Children's Funeral Fund provides that initial financial support to families during their darkest hour, and different regions of the United Kingdom offer a different package. But what all regions offer is that no parent needs to see or be asked to pay for a bill to bury their children. A small gesture, but a huge, huge impact on any bereaved family. As parents, we all want to give our children the very best that we can, and in death, that becomes even more important. When a dignified funeral is the very last gift that a parent can give their child, money should not and must not be a barrier. Whilst discussing this deeply personal part of my life, I know it is through my sharing my experience and the experience of so many other parents and families that brought about the Children's Funeral Fund, Martin's Fund. And to this day, I will still remember, and I'm actually looking at the framed copy of that bill on my wall. It is without doubt my proudest moment, and it is now a legacy to my son, Martin. As I mentioned at the start of my talk, grief unites us all. It cuts through party politics. Regardless of our background, we can all identify with loss and the importance of funeral care. And the cross-party support for my campaign of the Children's Funeral Fund is testament to just that. And it is vital that we maintain effective relationships between local and national government, and more importantly, our funeral care sector, as they are the ones who are committed to providing the excellent care that we all at some point in our lives need. Finally, I would like to say thank you. I'd like to thank you for the vital work that you do. To work in funeral care requires compassion, patience, respect, and dedication, to name but a few. And whilst I know that these past 12 months have been a difficult period for you all, I would like to wish you well, to thank you, and to make sure that you understand that every family, like myself, who've lost people during the last year, will always be grateful to the way that you as a sector have dealt with our loss, the respect and the dignity of our loved ones, and have carried on working regardless. Thank you.